First principles. This is the fourth discussion. Y equals to e to the power x. So y plus delta y is e to the power x plus delta x. Delta y is e to the power x plus delta x minus y, which is e to the power x plus delta x minus e to the power x. Now e to the power x plus delta x is e to the power x into e to the power delta x minus e to the power x. This is x to the power m into x to the power n is x to the power m plus n. The same formula I am using. X to the power m plus n is x to the power m into x to the power n. Over here I'll take a common, e to the power x taken common, e to the power delta x minus 1. This is my delta y. Finally I'll divide our delta x here. I'll divide our delta x here. I'll write a limit delta x tends to 0. Limit delta x tends to 0. In the next step I'll take and write over here. So it will look like e to the power x into limit delta x tends to 0, e to the power delta x minus 1 by e to the power delta x. For this you just have to remember this formula, that e to the power x minus 1 by x limit x tends to 0 is 1. In place of x it can be simply anything, theta, sine theta, whatever it is, it can be anything simply. So this part goes off as 1. So this is e to the power x into 1, which is e to the power x. If it is y equals to a to the power x, the very same trend, y plus delta y is a to the power x plus delta x minus y is a to the power x. So it's a to the power x into a to the power delta x minus a to the power x. So this is a to the power x into a to the power delta x minus 1. Finally I'll divide as by our delta x. Place a limit here, delta x tends to 0, and the formula is a to the power x by x limit x tends to 0 is log a. Nothing a big formula, because if it is e to the power x minus 1 by x, it is log e, and which was happening to be 1 because log of e to base e is 1, that way. So if you remember this, then you can automatically get this. So a to the power x minus 1 by x is log a, so all these go off as log a. So this is a to the power x into log a, and in fact there was a delta x and limit delta x tends to 0, so this is dy by dx. Y equals log x. Now y plus delta y is log of x plus delta x. Y comes here, so minus y, which is log x. Log of m minus log of n is log of m by n. So this is log of x plus delta x by x, using the formula log m minus log n is log of m by n. So finally here it is delta y. I'm writing a delta x here. I'll do one thing, I'll just split this, so this will become log of x by x plus delta x by x. This guy goes off, so this becomes log of 1 plus delta x by x. Until now I haven't divided by delta x. Now I'll divide. It's up to you, in fact, from the very beginning, or from, where in the solution you'll divide by delta x, because what we are doing is algebra and you are free to do simply anything. So finally I'll divide a delta x over here and a delta x over here. I'll place a limit, delta x tends to 0, limit delta x tends to 0. So this becomes log of 1 plus delta x by x divided by delta x. Limit delta x tends to 0, and this part has become dy by dx. I'll have to remember only one formula, log of 1 plus x by x, limit x tends to 0 is 1. So in place of x, what is there? Delta x by x. So I'll make a by x into x, and you can make out delta x tends to 0. I should write delta x by x so that this 1 by x will come out, and this will look like limit delta x by x tends to 0, 1 plus delta x by x divided by, there is a log here, by delta x by x. What I'm saying that way is you can make out like if it is theta, if this is theta, what will happen is this guy is theta, this is theta. So as theta tends to 0, I should write delta x by x. Otherwise, if your mark is crossing 90%, 0.5 will be deducted. So all these go off as 1. I'm left with 1 by x into 1. So this is 1 by x. There is no ambiguity, no confusion in this, but most of the books do not follow this trend. They follow some other kind of formula, which makes the same algebraic sense but makes the thing quite difficult.